Earth's unexpected resistance. The invasion fleet arrived in Earth's orbit like a black storm covering the sky. Thousands of warships, shining with alien metals, cast their shadows over the planet. The Galactic Union had decided. Earth would fall, and humanity would become slaves. Admiral Celtar, commander of the invasion, stood on the bridge of his massive warship, the Dominance. He looked at the blue-green planet below, unimpressed. "This world has no real defense," he said to his officers. "Their weapons are ancient. Their armies are weak. This will be over in a single day." His officers nodded. After all, they had conquered dozens of planets before. Earth would be no different. The invasion began. The first attack. The alien fleet opened fire. Energy blasts rained down from the sky, striking military bases, power stations, and communication hubs. Cities went dark. Chaos spread. The first wave of alien troops landed on Earth, marching through the streets in tall, armored suits. Their weapons could melt steel in seconds. They expected Earth's surrender. Instead, they faced something they had never seen before: pure human defiance. The first group of human soldiers fought back immediately. Instead of running, they set up ambushes. They used rockets, tanks, and even homemade explosives. Alien soldiers fell, confused. This was not how invasions worked. Other planets surrendered when the Union arrived. But humans did not bow. One alien officer, Commander Velrin, watched in disbelief. His squad had been ordered to secure a small city, but the moment they arrived, the humans vanished. The streets were empty. It felt too quiet. "Where are they?" he asked, his voice uneasy. Then it happened. Explosions, gunfire, shadows moving. Velrin's squad was cut down in seconds. Humans appeared from alleys, rooftops, and underground tunnels, striking with deadly precision. The commander barely escaped with his life. "These creatures, they fight like demons," he whispered, shaken. The war changes. News spread across the invasion fleet. The humans were not weak. They were hunters, fighters, survivors. The Galactic Union had studied Earth's technology, but they had never studied human nature. They didn't understand what made humans different from other species: the ability to adapt. Earth's armies used everything they had. They hacked enemy ships, stole alien weapons, and used guerrilla warfare. They turned entire cities into battlefields. Every street was a trap. Every ruined building hid snipers. The aliens had the advantage in firepower, but the humans had something greater: willpower. Admiral Celtar grew frustrated. "How are they resisting?" he roared. "Their technology is primitive," a scientist explained. "It's not their weapons, Admiral. It's them. They learn faster than any species we have ever faced. They are unpredictable. They fight like they have nothing to lose." The Admiral's eyes darkened. He had underestimated Earth. The first major victory. Days passed. The invasion, expected to last hours, turned into a nightmare. The aliens were losing soldiers, ships, and morale. Then came the moment that changed everything. In a surprise attack, a human strike team captured an alien command center. They took control of a Union battleship and turned its weapons against the enemy. Alien warships exploded in the sky as the captured ship unleashed destruction. It was the first major victory for Earth, and it sent a clear message. Humanity was not just surviving. Humanity was winning. The fear spreads. Across the galaxy, news of Earth's resistance spread like wildfire. Other alien species, once laughing at humanity's weakness, now whispered in fear. "How can they fight like this?" one alien senator asked. "They are not fighting to win," another replied. "They are fighting to destroy us." For the first time, the Galactic Union, the most powerful force in the universe, felt something new: fear. And Earth was just getting started. The turning point: human ingenuity. The war should have been over. That was what the Galactic Union believed. Earth was supposed to fall in a single day. But now, weeks had passed, and the humans were still fighting. Admiral Xeltar sat in his warship, watching a holographic display of Earth's battlefields. Alien soldiers were dying at an alarming rate. The humans were using every trick, every weapon, and every strategy they could imagine. This is impossible, an officer muttered. No species has ever resisted the Union for this long. Xeltar clenched his fists. It was no longer just a battle. It was a humiliation. Deploy the second wave, he ordered. Crush them. Human adaptation. The second wave of alien forces was larger, stronger, and more advanced. The Union sent heavy walkers, towering war machines that could destroy entire buildings with a single shot. They sent airborne attack squadrons, fast-moving fighters that could track any human vehicle. But Earth was no longer fighting with just human weapons. Something changed. The aliens noticed that humans were hitting harder, moving smarter, and fighting with weapons that weren't their own. Human engineers and scientists had been working in secret reverse engineering captured alien technology. Plasma rifles, once used against humans, were now in human hands. Alien tanks were hijacked and turned against their owners. Communication signals were hacked, confusing the Union's forces. A squad of alien soldiers entered a ruined factory in New York City, expecting to find human survivors. Instead, they found a war machine they had never seen before, a hybrid of human and alien tech, built to annihilate them. Within seconds, the aliens were wiped out. Humanity was no longer just resisting. Humanity was evolving. The Battle of Orion Base. One of the Galactic Union's strongest footholds on Earth was Orion Base, a massive command center built after the invasion began. It was heavily defended, impossible to break into. At least, that's what the aliens thought. One night, the alarms at Orion Base blared. The command center went dark. Communications failed. Weapons systems shut down. Then they arrived. A group of elite human soldiers, wearing advanced combat suits made from captured alien materials. They moved like shadows, striking before the aliens could react. Within an hour, Orion Base fell. It was a disaster for the Union. Losing the base meant losing control over the entire eastern front of the war. The aliens were now on the defensive. Admiral Xeltar slammed his fist on the control panel. This was not how wars were supposed to go. How did they do this? He shouted. The answer came from his chief strategist. They learn, Admiral. The strategist said, his voice trembling. Humans are not like other species. They do not follow rules. They do not surrender. They adapt. The galaxy watches in fear. News of Orion Base's fall spread across the galaxy. Other alien civilizations, ones that had mocked humans, ones that had voted to enslave Earth, were now watching in horror. This should not be happening. A Union senator said, "We have defeated greater species before." Another alien, from a smaller empire, leaned forward. But have we ever fought something like them? For the first time, the Galactic Union realized the truth. They had made a mistake, a terrible mistake. They had come to Earth as conquerors. Now they were the ones being hunted. The war takes a dark turn. Back on Earth, the battles raged on. But now, the humans were winning. They were capturing ships, destroying enemy bases, striking back harder than the Union could have ever imagined. The Galactic Union was bleeding. Their forces were breaking. And for the first time in history, the invaders were afraid. Humanity strikes back. The war had changed. At first, the Galactic Union had been confident. Their fleets had descended upon Earth like gods of war, expecting a quick and easy victory. But now they were running. The aliens no longer hunted the humans. The humans hunted them. The first human counterattack. Somewhere in deep space, a Union supply convoy drifted between the stars, carrying reinforcements and weapons meant to crush Earth's resistance. The alien commander in charge, Captain Velshar sighed in relief. His fleet was far from the front lines, safe from battle. At least here, he muttered, we don't have to worry about those. Alert. Human identify SHIPs as APGROHHing. Velshar's blood ran cold. Humans. But how? They didn't have space technology advanced enough to fight in deep space. That was what the Union had thought, but they had underestimated Earth again. The stolen Union warships, now crewed by human soldiers, came out of nowhere, their weapons already firing. Explosions ripped through the convoy before the aliens could react. Within minutes, half of the fleet was gone. The remaining ships tried to escape, but the humans were faster, smarter, more ruthless. By the end of the attack, the once powerful convoy was nothing more than a debris field floating in space. Humanity had taken the war beyond Earth. Alien fleets in chaos. Back at the Union's Central Command Station, chaos erupted. The convoy is gone, Admiral Xeltar demanded, his voice shaking with rage. A nervous officer nodded. It was an ambush. Sir, the humans. They shouldn't have ships capable of deep space warfare. Xeltar roared. How is this possible? The strategist beside him spoke in a quiet, deadly voice. They captured our technology. They reverse engineered it. And now, they're using it against us. For the first time, Xeltar felt something he had never felt before. Fear. Earth's greatest weapon, unpredictability. The humans did not fight like any other species. When the Galactic Union conquered planets, they followed a pattern. The enemy would resist for a short time, then surrender. That was how war worked. But humans refused to play by the rules. They didn't just defend Earth. They attacked. They adapted. They changed the war itself. They used stolen alien weapons with terrifying efficiency. They built hybrid ships, combining human and alien tech. They created new battle strategies no alien could predict. The Galactic Union had brought war to Earth. Now, Earth was bringing war to the galaxy. The attack on the orbital command station. With momentum on their side, humanity launched its most daring attack yet. A strike against the Union's orbital command station, a massive space fortress that controlled the invasion fleet. The station was heavily defended. No enemy had ever breached its walls. Until now. In the middle of the night cycle, an alarm blared across the fortress. Unauthorized docking detected. Before the aliens could respond, the attack had already begun. Human soldiers in advanced combat suits stormed through the hallways, using stolen alien weapons to cut down the enemy. Explosions rocked the station as sabotage teams disabled power systems and hacked defenses. The station commander barely had time to react before a transmission hijacked the main screen. A human face appeared. "This is Commander James Carter of Earth's Resistance," the soldier said, his voice calm but full of fire. "You came to our world and tried to make us slaves. Now we're here to return the favor." Before the aliens could respond, the entire command station exploded. Earth had destroyed the heart of the invasion fleet. The Galactic Union starts to break. With their command station gone, the Union's fleets fell into disarray. Some ships tried to flee, while others turned against each other in panic. The war that was supposed to enslave Earth had now crippled the greatest empire in the galaxy. The message was clear. Humanity was not just fighting back. Humanity was winning. The final warning. Across the galaxy, news of the humans' counterattack spread like wildfire. The once powerful Galactic Union was now losing ships, bases, and morale faster than they could recover. On distant alien worlds, once loyal allies of the Union began to reconsider their loyalties. If humans could defeat the Union, maybe it was time to abandon the losing side. Inside the Union's war room, Admiral Xeltar looked at the battle reports in horror. This isn't possible," he whispered. But deep down, he knew the truth. They had underestimated Earth, and now they would pay the price. The fall of the Galactic Union. The Galactic Union had ruled the stars for thousands of years. Its fleets were unmatched. Its armies were feared across the galaxy. But now, for the first time in history, it was losing. And it was losing to humans. The galaxy in panic. News of Earth's victory spread like wildfire. Across the stars, once loyal members of the Union began to panic. "What if the humans come for us next?" whispered a senator from the Taluk Empire. "We must prepare defenses," a warlord from the Tylar Dominion demanded. But the truth was clear. There was no defense against Earth. If the humans could defeat the Union's fleets, if they could hijack warships and destroy command stations, then no one was safe. The Great Retreat. Admiral Xeltar stood on the bridge of his flagship, staring at the battle map. Red markers, human-controlled territories, were spreading like a virus. One by one, planets that had once belonged to the Union were falling to Earth's forces. The war was no longer about conquering Earth. It was about survival. "Pull back our forces," Xeltar ordered. "Regroup at the core worlds." But it was too late. The humans had already planned their next attack. The invasion of the core worlds. The Galactic Union believed its inner planets, the core worlds, were untouchable. These were the heart of the Union, where the most advanced defenses and strongest fleets were stationed. No enemy had ever dared to attack them. Until now. At the edge of the Union's home system, sensors flared with warnings. A human fleet had arrived. But it wasn't just stolen warships anymore. Earth had used captured alien technology to build its own fleet, faster, deadlier, and unlike anything the Union had ever seen. The core worlds had never known fear. Now, for the first time, they were terrified. The battle that changed everything. The Union's remaining fleet scrambled to defend the core worlds. The battle that followed was unlike anything in history. Human warships moved faster than Union ships, dodging laser fire and striking with terrifying accuracy. Alien fighters found themselves outmaneuvered by human pilots, whose unpredictable tactics left them helpless. Planetary defenses crumbled as human ground forces landed, their advanced hybrid weapons cutting through enemy lines. The Galactic Union's last stronghold was falling. Admiral Xeltar, watching from his flagship, realized the truth. "We are no longer the rulers of the galaxy," he whispered. The humans had taken everything from them. Now, the only question was what humanity would do next. Surrender or extinction. With the Union's core worlds under attack, the Senate of the Galactic Union gathered in desperation. For the first time in history, they were the ones begging for peace. A transmission was sent to Earth's fleet. A hologram of a Union diplomat appeared before the human high command. "We surrender," the alien said, his voice shaking. "Please, show mercy." Silence. Then, a human general stepped forward. His face was cold, his voice unforgiving. "Mercy," he repeated. "Did you show mercy when you voted to enslave our people? When you burned our cities? When you took our families?" The alien diplomat swallowed. "Please, if you continue this war, you will wipe out the Union completely." The human general smiled. "That's the idea." The end of the Galactic Union. The war did not end with a treaty. There were no negotiations, no compromises. Humanity had suffered too much to let their enemies go free. One by one, the last remnants of the Union's power crumbled. The core worlds fell. The remaining fleets surrendered or were destroyed. The Senate was dissolved. And the Galactic Union, which had ruled the stars for centuries, ceased to exist. In its place, a new power rose, a power called Earth. Humanity's rule begins. The war was over. The Galactic Union, once the most powerful empire in the universe, no longer existed. Its fleets had been destroyed. Its leaders had surrendered. Its planets now belonged to Earth. But humanity was not done yet. Now they had to decide what came next. The trials of the fallen. Across the conquered worlds, the leaders of the Union were rounded up. The ones who had voted to enslave humanity, the ones who had ordered the invasion, the ones who had burned Earth's cities and slaughtered its people. They were not given mercy. On a newly conquered world, a massive tribunal was held. The greatest war criminals of the Union were put on trial. One by one, they were brought before Earth's judges. Admiral Xeltar stood in chains, his once proud uniform torn and filthy. "You invaded our world," the human judge said. "You enslaved our people. You destroyed our cities." Xeltar lowered his head. He knew his fate. His sentence was death. And he was not alone. Across the galaxy, former Union leaders met the same fate. The ones who had once ruled the stars were now paying the price for their crimes. The new order. With the Union gone, chaos spread across the galaxy. Planets that had once belonged to the Union were now free, but they were weak, leaderless, and vulnerable. They needed a ruler, and there was only one choice: humanity. The leaders of Earth gathered in their new capital on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. They had a decision to make. Would humanity rule with an iron fist, just as the Union had? Or would they create something new, something better? Earth's galactic empire. The answer came swiftly. A message was sent across the galaxy, broadcast to every species, every world, every survivor of the fallen Union. A human leader stood before the cameras, his voice calm but firm. "The old rulers are gone. The Galactic Union has fallen. There is no more Senate, no more High Command, no more Council. From this moment forward, the galaxy belongs to Earth." The message was clear. Humanity was in charge now. And things were going to change. The fate of the alien species, the species that had once voted to enslave Earth, now lived in fear. Would humanity wipe them out? Would they be forced into slavery themselves? The answer came quickly. Earth would not enslave them, but they would never be equals. Humans would rule. Aliens would obey. Any rebellion would be crushed instantly. Some species swore loyalty to Earth, eager to survive. Others tried to resist, but it was useless. Humanity's fleets were unstoppable. And so, the galaxy submitted. Earth had won. A new age begins. With Earth at the head of a new empire, things changed quickly. Human-built warships patrolled the stars, ensuring peace or enforcing order. Alien worlds paid tribute to Earth, sending resources, technology, and labor. New laws were established, making it clear humanity was the supreme power. The galaxy, once ruled by many, was now controlled by one. The age of the Galactic Union was over. The age of humanity had begun, and no one would ever dare challenge Earth again. The final warning. The galaxy had changed. Where once the Galactic Union ruled with arrogance and cruelty, now humanity stood at the top. The old order was gone. The Senate was dust. The fleets that had once enslaved others had been either destroyed or repurposed, now flying under Earth's banner. But despite humanity's dominance, whispers of rebellion still lingered in the dark corners of the universe. Some alien leaders, those who had survived the war, still dreamed of overthrowing humanity. They plotted in secret, believing Earth would eventually grow weak. They were wrong. The last uprising. A group of former Union leaders gathered in a hidden station, deep in the outer rim. They believed humanity's rule could be challenged. "We have waited long enough," growled a reptilian warlord. "The humans are spreading themselves too thin. Their fleets cannot be everywhere at once." A shadowy figure, a former Union strategist, nodded. "If we strike quickly, we can reclaim our homeworlds before they can react." Their plan was simple. A coordinated attack on multiple human-controlled systems, meant to cripple Earth's hold on the galaxy. They gathered what little remained of the Union's military strength. They sent secret messages to other alien factions, hoping to rally them to the cause. They believed they could take back their empire. They were wrong. The wrath of humanity. The moment the rebellion began, Earth's fleets were already moving. Human spies had infiltrated the conspirators from the beginning. The so-called rebellion had been allowed to grow, just to see who would support it. And when the time was right, humanity struck first. The rebel fleet barely had time to mobilize before a massive human armada appeared over their hidden base. Hundreds of warships descended, firing without warning. There was no mercy, no negotiation, no chance to escape. The rebel fleet was wiped out in minutes. The hidden station was reduced to molten wreckage. Every known leader of the rebellion was executed on the spot. The message was clear. There would be no second chances. Humanity did not tolerate traitors. The speech that shook the galaxy. After the failed rebellion, the leader of Earth's empire, Lord Chancellor Alexander Graves, spoke to the entire galaxy. His image was broadcast to every world, every station, every surviving species. He stood before a massive human banner, his expression cold and unreadable. There will be no more rebellions. His voice was calm, dangerous. You will not rise against us. You will not plot in secret. You will not challenge our rule. Because if you do, you will suffer the fate of those who tried before you. The camera zoomed out, revealing the burning wreckage of the rebel station behind him. The remains of alien warships floated lifelessly in space. You wanted us as slaves. Now, you are the ones who serve. This is not a choice. This is how it is. This is how it will always be. A long pause. Then, the final warning. Disobey, and you will burn. The transmission ended, and across the stars, every species who had once dreamed of overthrowing humanity fell silent in fear. The unchallenged rulers of the galaxy. After the final warning, there were no more rebellions. Every alien race now understood the truth. Earth's rule was absolute. Human patrols enforced order across the stars. Alien worlds sent their best resources, technologies, and workers to serve humanity. No species dared to speak against Earth ever again. What had started as a war of survival had become a war of conquest. And now, the conquest was complete. Earth, once seen as weak and primitive, was now the dominant force in the universe. The galaxy belonged to humanity. Forever. The final warning. Epilogue. A universe under Earth's shadow. The galaxy was quiet. For the first time in history, there were no wars, no rebellions, no conflicts between species. But this was not the peace of diplomacy. This was the silence of fear. Every species had watched what happened to those who dared to defy humanity. Every empire that once sought to enslave Earth was now bowing before it. No one spoke against the new rulers of the universe, because to challenge Earth was to be erased. The center of power, Earth's throne world. The heart of the new empire was no longer on Earth itself. Instead, Titan, one of Saturn's moons, had been transformed into the imperial capital of humanity. A massive citadel stood at its center, the Dominion Spire, a structure so vast it could be seen from orbit. It was from here that Lord Chancellor Alexander Graves ruled. From here, all decisions were made. From here, all laws were enforced. From here, all of humanity's will spread across the stars. Inside the spire, a single message was sent across the galaxy every standard cycle. Asterisk, asterisk, you live because we allow it. You breathe because we do not take your air. You exist because humanity has chosen to let you exist. Do not mistake this for kindness. Do not mistake this for mercy. This is your final warning, asterisk, asterisk. The message was simple: absolute obedience or annihilation. The galaxy under humanity's rule. Across thousands of planets, life continued, but it was a life of submission. Alien worlds, once independent, now operated under human rule. Their leaders answered to Earth. Their technology was controlled by Earth. Their people worked for Earth. They were not slaves, not in the traditional sense, but they were subjects, and subjects knew their place. Some tried to resist. Some whispered of a future where they would rise again. But those whispers never lasted long. Because every time rebellion was even imagined, humanity struck first. Entire cities vanished overnight. Dissident leaders disappeared, never to be seen again. Planets that refused to obey were turned into wastelands. Earth had given the galaxy a chance to submit peacefully. And those who refused, they were erased. The last survivor of the Union. On a distant, dying world, an old alien sat alone. Once, he had been a senator of the Galactic Union. Once, he had voted to enslave Earth, believing humans were nothing but a weak, insignificant species. Now he was one of the last of his kind. He had watched as humanity rose from the ashes, took the war to the stars, and crushed everything in its path. And as he looked up at the night sky, he saw them, Earth's warships patrolling his world, watching, ensuring obedience. He closed his eyes. The old Union was dead. And in its place, humanity had built an empire that would never fall. The end of the beginning. For the first time, Earth was no longer a planet. It was an idea, a force, a legend. Children across alien worlds were taught to fear it. Governments built monuments to honor their human overlords. And the stars themselves seemed to belong to Earth alone. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humanity would never be slaves. They would never bow. They would never be conquered. Because now, they were the ones who ruled everything. Forever.